Hi, welcome to Dice Control Dojo. I'm Phil and I practice every day and share my tips so we can all get better at the casino. Today we're going to talk about our consistency series. We're still in that first week of practice and we're talking about the follow through. So after your major muscle group has that muscle memory, what does it look like after the dice release? What should be going on there? So we talked about in the throw that I'm at an angle here. I'm doing a push back on my backswing. My hands are a C. They're nice and relaxed. Nothing is moving from the wrist to the elbow to the bicep, tricep. It's just the shoulder muscle that's releasing, okay? And you're going to let the dice release. We talked about this 100 times. Everybody knows this, but it's nice to have a refresher, isn't it? And it's just the dice coming out on its own. You should still have this C. Once the centrifugal force releases the dice, this C should remain just like this. So it's a balance on relaxing everything enough just so that when you're doing your backswing, these dice should be able to fall right out of my hands. It shouldn't be so tight, because if it's too tight, they're going to release way up high. And if they're too loose, they're just going to lay across the ground. So the follow through is very important because you want to keep that centrifugal force going even after the dice is gone. And what I've noticed on a lot of videos, watching a lot of people throw in YouTube videos lately, that people are jerking quick. They may either be doing something right after those dice are still in the air. And that's a big no-no. It's kind of like in golf, right? You don't just short your swing like this, even after the ball is left. You don't short it like this because you need that follow-through to ensure that the ball follows the path of the club. Well, your fingers are the same way. If you short your throw and you don't give a good consistent after throw after they release, those dice could do anything that it wants to instead of what you want it to do. So it's very important that you are consistent with your follow through too. And that takes a little bit of practice. It's not something that you can do. So hey, for style points, it's nice to have a nice throw, but I want to make money. So when I'm doing a throw and my coaches and mentors are watching this, this is going to be a consistent throw each time. And if that arm is way up here, or it's short like this, or my elbow's bent afterwards because I'm trying to, show off, then I know it's not a good throw. So once those dice are released, your hand should be still in your circle form. And second of all, you have to make sure that your fingers are following where your thumb is. Wherever your thumb is pointed, basically, is where the dice are going to go. So see my thumb? It was pointed right here. That's where they went. So the release of your hands, if you're releasing and you're flicking your wrist to the side here, or you're coming in here, it's going to cause them to spin in a different direction. You have to be consistent. We're working on consistency, and you've got to be consistent on your follow through so that they come out straight. If you look at here, right, my ledge should still be in place. My thumb should still be there. It should be pointed in the direction I want it to go. And if you just practice that over and over, right, those fingers should be just like that. I should be able to be right at a point that I could release those, and they should come out of my hands the exact same way. Did you see how they fell together? That means my C was good and my consistent pressure of all three fingers and my thumb were the same. Those pressures, remember, it's a very light pressure to pick up, right? My wrists are relaxed, right? So it's a Nice relaxed wrist. I have it at a 45-degree angle. I'm telling you, it makes my wrists feel very good. Also, when I'm throwing for a long time, which I hope to do all the time, it feels a lot better. My hands aren't cramped up as much as when I'm doing my claw, my grip. So if I'm just nice and relaxed, I can just take these dice in, backswing, follow through. See the C in the fingers? They're all together like that. That's a perfect throw. That's what you're looking for. That way the dice are coming off of your fingers, right? They're coming off of your fingers, just like that, right? Together. And if they come off your fingers together like this and they stay together, then you've done a perfect follow through. But if you short it and you stay short, or also if you're not following through, sometimes the muscle tenses up and your fingers separate. So if you short it, they separate like this, or the pressure on the one finger gets a little bit stronger than the other. So you need to make sure that your pressure is the exact same, nice and loose and relaxed. Look at, they came out perfect together. This is exactly what you wanted. So when you're doing your follow through, we were talking about 80% of the grip, right? Of your 85% is the most important thing is the grip. And why is that? Because when you're gripping that dice, that's where it's going to be from here to here to here. So that grip follows this path right here. Look at that, nice and slow motion, right to here. So at the last minute, that 1% is that follow through. If your hands are turned, your thumb is upside down or to the side, right at the end, you've got to be able to recognize that and stop that. I have mentors that I work with in my craps crew on Sunday. If they're seeing the follow through doesn't look right or the grip, we talk about it. We just make mention of it. We can see it in our videos. But if you don't have a group like I do, and fortunate to have some qualified people that have taken all the same courses as me to be able to do that, it's very simple. Just record yourself on your phone. Put the phone right here. Put it right down here. Take some video of you coming in. And then watch your follow through, because sometimes you can't see it, right? Especially if you're making contact, you're watching where your target zone is, right? Sometimes you don't know what your follow through looks like. So you want to see, do you have that C? Can you see it? So that's a very good way of judging how you're doing when you're throwing dice. You want to see that follow through, that last percentage of the perfect consistent throw has to be just letting them release and keeping your fingers together so that they come out itself and there's not a curve here, one off, one here, one there, one loose, one tighter, one loose. All that release is just letting the dice do its own thing and you just making sure you have enough momentum to get it to the zone you want it to do. But the follow through should have nothing to do with that. It should just be consistently letting it go so that it'll go to where you want it to land. If you're shortying it, right, you might have a lot of roll. And if you hold on to the dice too tight, they're going to go way up in the high and they may not get there. So making sure this muscle memory is perfect to the length of a 12-foot table you need. If you're at a 14-foot table and you're practicing for that, it's the exact same throw. The fortunate thing about the way I was taught to throw like this is that this muscle throws the exact same way every single time. The follow through, everything's the same. The only difference from a 12-foot and a 14-foot is your backswing. Is you grabbing that dice and instead of doing a little 2-inch backswing for 12 feet. I do a 4-inch backswing, but the throw is the exact same way, and the follow through is the exact same way. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video on updating you on how to get ready for an adventure in Vegas or Atlantic City in just a 2-week time. This is we're on day 6, the first week, and I got to tell you something. Today, I threw 72 times, and I had a 14 SRR, and I was just making money hand over fist today. It was wonderful. I felt very good. As you can see, I felt really comfortable throwing and showing you my throw. It was very consistent. So I'm starting to get that consistency. It's just about practice, practice, practice. That's all I can say. So I know I have a lot more to learn about this new style of throwing I'm doing, and I'm glad I'm sharing my journey with you until I can get it 100% where I'm happy. It takes hours and hours and hours to get this the way I want. So thank you for joining me. And as always, the best betting strategy to make all that money I made from all those throws is to throw for a long, long time.